You're watching The Morning Score, your top of day fix for professional and for college sports and for gaming, shooting at the Rivalry Sports Bar in Miracle Mile in Los Angeles, California. This is the only place that you should ever go in Los Angeles to get food, happy hour, drinks, beers, to hang out with us because we come watch all the big games here.
It's a good spot.
It is.
It is. We were here for the Duke Championship.
Oh,
An amazing happy hour.
Oh,
yeah.
happy hour was
Really good
ridiculous.
nachos.
Good nachos. We always talk about the nachos. They're really good.
I know, I'm a nacho fan.
We're talking about the nachos in Megan's memory. Megan likes the nachos too. Remember Megan? Talking about nachos? Okay, never mind. All right, so we are talking about Western Conference first round. The Clippers Spurs matchup has been the most talked about, the most watched, probably the most highly rated series of NBA playoffs so far. And everyone gives me a hard time because I'm a Clippers fan. They say I'm a homer, so Clippers always make it into our conversation. But you know what? Oh, well.
Wait till football season. The Jets will be every week we're talking about the Jets.
Every week we're talking about Georgia. No one is giving the Clippers a chance. Even though the Clippers came back from that abysmally horrible Game 3 ass whipping, everyone's still counting them out, even though they've tied this series up. And listen, I know the Clippers have a culture of being mediocre, culture of mediocrity. I get it. But we've turned over a new leaf, a new core, a new coach, a new mentality. And I picked Clippers in 6, and I'm still going with it. We play tonight. Tonight's Tuesday. We play tonight, Game 5, big Game 5. If we win tonight, Game 5, Spurs, get your boots and scoot on back to Texas because you're going fishing. Go fishing, Spurs.
Now, I just have to drop some knowledge on you, Erica. And I hate the Spurs. I hate them. And I'm not a so-called Clippers fan, but I would like to see them win.
Yes, you would.
And the mediocrity thing, we'll find out. If they beat the Spurs, I will believe you. But until they beat the Spurs, I can't go that route. But here's the thing that scares me for the Clippers. These Spurs, since 1999, are 23-8, including 6 straight Game 5 wins. And in their 5 title runs have won Game 5s 15 times and lost once. Whereas the Clippers in Game 5s are like an abysmal 1-7.
But the Clippers first of all, okay, yes.
Agreed.
Clippers in Game 5, all time, I get that. But people forget that this team that we have now is the new look, the new face of the Clippers. If you want to pick a season from 95, 96, and then throw that into this year's stats, I don't think that's fair because the culture has completely changed. So yeah, for analytics and for statisticals and for all you mathematicians out there and statisticians, great, Trevor.
Well, I think the proof is in the pudding. Let's see. No, I agree
Coming
with
from
you.
a Brooklyn fan who's had a basketball team for 4 years, but go ahead.
Whatever. I feel like I agree with you in a lot of senses that it is a new Clipper team. I do think it's going to take a little bit longer for them to make it through the entire thing.
Okay.
They're doing.
Okay.
I'll give them. They're doing
Okay.
better. I'll give them. It's a new program. You can see a difference. You know, even though they're not my team, living in Los Angeles, you hear about them a lot. You know, more. So you can. I do see differences in the team. I do see things happening. I'm just not sold that they have had enough change to win this championship.
And I'm not sold. Again, I'm a Clippers fan, but I'm not sold on the fact that our bench is so shallow. Our bench couldn't be any more shallow. Like I've been saying for the past few weeks, we have 6 people on our team, our starting unit, and then Jamal Crawford. However, Austin Rivers' breakout game the other night,
What a game.
It was amazing. The Game 4 coming out game for Austin Rivers. I'm coming up. I'm coming up. And that's so amazing because we've been giving Doc Rivers such a hard time this season for nepotism and for having his son on the team when he shouldn't even really be in the NBA. So thank you, Austin Rivers, for saving our season. I just hope that moving forward, Doc Rivers makes smarter personnel choices because he's the end-all be-all as the personnel decision maker for that team. I think he's made some very questionable choices. And if we had a bench, I think that we could easily coast through the rest of the West and get out of the West. But because our bench is so shallow, I'm not sure. If we had a bench.
Well, and another big if is if Blake Griffin didn't turn that ball over in Game 2. I mean, they're that a really crappy turnover from being 3-1 and heading back to the Staples Center.
Yeah.
But to me, I think this Clipper team is a lot of fun. I think the NBA is hoping like hell the Clippers win just because they're so fun to watch.
They are.
They're great for TV. I think it all lies on Chris Paul. This guy, CP3, is he going to be the badass that he's been, that everybody makes an uproar, that he's a top 5 point guard? Or is he going to be the guy that folds in the last 5 minutes of the game that we've seen so many times?
He does that.
Game 4, dude, that Chris Paul, if that Chris Paul shows up every game, I agree with you.
Yeah.
They are insane.
We are.
Yeah.
But it all depends on which Chris Paul shows up.
Well, and I think that also comes along with this new team dynamic and consistency, and that will only get stronger. So if your team does it, I do think it definitely will. Like, I don't think it's going to go backwards. If anything, the Clippers are on a move forward. But I don't think the Spurs are too old, and I think they're going to win.
Wait, you think the Spurs are going to win what? The series or the championship or what?
The series.
Okay.
I don't know that they're going to win the championship.
As far as the Spurs being too old, we've said this for the past probably 6 to 7 years, and I get that. You know, every year we say the Spurs are old, and then they surprise us, and then they win, or they get to, they advance pretty far.
I don't think
the
they're going to
playoffs.
win again.
Look, age is nothing but a number when you have a coach like Popovich who's able to coach and teach you up. And then they have such a good mix of young, the Patty Millses, the Kawhi Leonards. Like, they have such a good mix of the young and the old that their age, I don't think, is as much of a factor. However, I'm going to contradict myself in the same breath by saying that Tim Duncan looks tired out there sometimes. Tony Parker's, his injuries have started to...
Tim Duncan's, what, like 37 years
39.
old?
He's
39 years old.
137.
He's 137 years old, Tim Duncan. So those injuries and just having played so many games, so many playoff
But
games.
it's the balance because you're such a educated player, you know how to compensate.
Okay.
That's why I think we have this too old conversation for so long, but yet they come out and win it. I don't think they're going to win it this year. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is we continuously say Tim Duncan's too old. He doesn't have any expression like the guys. The guy's a man of few words.
A man of no words.
No words. Except he apologized for losing that game. He was like, this one's on me.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, they win.
Whoever wins tonight, in my opinion, wins this series.
Wins. Oh, yeah, I
Wins
agree.
game 5.
Yeah.
I agree. Okay, so predictions. Any bold prediction for this series? Clippers or Spurs in 6 or 7?
I want to believe, and I'm going to go Clips in 6.
Clippers in 6.
I'm going to go Spurs in 7.
Okay.
I just want to make it interesting.
We're going to talk about hacking. Not the kind of hacking that you could be thinking about, but the other kind of hacking that you could be thinking about.
So
Up next on the Morning
mysterious.
Oh, I hate hacking.